integral over c f of z dz upon capital F of z, where c1 is the part of the circle C, which is the semicircle in the upper half plane. We have range of variation in the real axis given by negative capital R to positive capital R, and we have integral over c f of z dz upon capital F of z equals 2 pi I times sum of residues of the function f of z upon capital F of z lying in the upper half plane. That is 2 pi I times sum of residues of the poles obtained for the function f of z upon capital F of z in the upper half plane. If you let capital R to be very large, then we have negative R to positive R replaced by negative infinity to positive infinity, and we have integral negative infinity to positive infinity f of z dz upon capital F of z equals 2 pi I times sum of residues of poles of the function f of z upon capital F of z in the upper half plane. Evaluate integral negative infinity to infinity x square dx upon x square plus a square into x square plus b square, where a and b are strictly greater than 0. We have phi of z equals z square upon z square plus a square into z square plus b square. By just replacing x by z, we get this function. Now we have integral of the form negative infinity to infinity applied on phi of z dz, and we have integral negative infinity to infinity phi of z dz equals 2 pi I times sum of residues of the function phi of z which lie in the upper half plane. In order to find out the poles of function phi of z, we have to equate denominator to 0. That is z square plus a square equals 0 and z square plus b square equals 0. We have, on solving these equations, z equals plus minus ia and z equals plus minus ib are the poles. All these poles are simple poles. But from these poles, we have z1 equals ia and z2 equals ib are the only poles which lie in the upper half plane. Therefore, we will evaluate residues corresponding to poles z equals ia and z equals ib, which only lie in the upper half plane of the z plane. Residue of phi of z at z equals z1 is obtained as limit z tends to ia, z minus ia into phi of z, which is limit z tends to ia, z square upon z plus ia into z square plus b square. This is because we have z square plus a square equals z minus ia into z plus ia. We have z minus ia getting cancelled and we are left out with z square upon z plus ia into z square plus b square. On direct application of limit, here we obtain residue of phi of z at z equals ia as a by 2i into a square minus b square. Now we will evaluate residue of phi of z at z equals ib, which is limit z tends to ib, z minus ib into phi of z. We have z square plus b square equals z plus ib into z minus ib. Therefore, z minus ib get cancelled and we have limit z tends to ib applied on z square upon z square plus a square into z plus ib. On direct application of limits, we obtain residue of phi of z at z equals ib as minus b square upon minus b square plus a square into 2ib, which is negative b upon 2i times a square minus b square. Now, we have the required integral whose value to be evaluated is obtained as 2 pi I times sum of residues of phi of z lying in the upper half plane. That is 2 pi I times a by 2i a square minus b square minus b by 2i a square minus b square. On simplification, we obtain the value as pi by a plus b.